So I am thrilled today to welcome everyone to Rutgers University-Newark, Governor Murphy, Senator Ruiz, Assemblyman Cher, and other key sponsors of the legislation, members of the Essex delegation, community partners, Make the Road New Jersey, the amazing lawyers from our Rutgers Immigration Rights Project and clinics, and most of all, welcome to our dreamers. We welcome you not only as a university with one of the most diverse student bodies in the nation, but as a university that stands with more than 355 others nationally, including all of Rutgers, of course, spanning 38 states, Washington, D.C., and Puerto Rico, in the President's Alliance on Higher Education and Immigration, for which I have the honor of serving as co-chair of the steering committee. The breadth of support for Dreamers among the Alliance membership, expressed in opinion pieces, in amicus briefs, in visits to Congress, is matched, importantly, only by the majority of Americans who also want to assure that Dreamers can continue to pursue their education, jobs, military service, and continue to help their families and communities prosper. And having watched closely the strivings of our 217 Dreamers at Rutgers-Newark and over 400 across Rutgers, including Esther Chung, who you'll hear from soon, who leads our RU Dreamers Club, I can vouch for their excellence in the classroom and the strength of their commitments in our community. I know full well that the educational support that New Jersey has already given them through their high school education, through the New Jersey DREAM Act for in-state college tuition status, and now the support for in-state financial aid that this legislation promises will be rewarded. It will be rewarded throughout our Garden State in the years to come as the seeds of their education pay dividends forward. Indeed, this bill brings the state to a new level of crucial leadership as New Jersey becomes part of a small band of vanguard states who've made state financial aid available to Dreamers: California, Washington, Texas, Minnesota, and New Mexico, and Governor Murphy is signing this bill at such a propitious moment in Newark. It comes at a time of forthright leadership in our city and our county, when our mayor, re-elected mayor as Jay Baraka, and the Essex delegation hold all of us accountable for the dreams of generations of residents of Newark and Essex County, ready to walk the path of educational and economic opportunity they have earned. This is also a time when we at Rutgers-Newark are celebrating the 50th anniversary of the university's minority student program in our law school, and I see our law school dean here, a program that has provided thousands of black, brown, and low-income white students the opportunity to become lawyers, and in so doing, forever change the New Jersey bar. Now, again, we look to changing the map of opportunity at Rutgers-Newark and throughout higher education in New Jersey. These dreamers, our New Jersey dreamers, represent the diversity bonus that will define the prosperity of our knowledge economy in the decades ahead, just as it has given life and strength to our communities over centuries and embodied our country's founding democratic principle, e pluribus unum, out of many, one. Thank you to our leaders, thank you to our dreamers, for taking us yet one big step closer, at least in New Jersey, to enacting that inclusive vision. And now I will turn it over to the real spokesperson, Esther Chung.
Thank you, Chancellor Cantor, and good afternoon and welcome to Rutgers University-Newark. My name is Esther Chung, and I'm a rising junior here on this campus, and I'm also a dreamer. I was born in South Korea, but raised in Highland Park, New Jersey since I was 6 years old. New Jersey is my home, and I'm proud to attend college here at Rutgers. We welcome all our elected officials, our families, our educators, and organizers from across the state for standing with us today on this historic day in New Jersey. Our federal government continues to launch unprecedented attacks on immigrant young people like me and Cielo. We cannot be silent as ICE targets immigrants, including dreamers like me. Last week, 7 states sued to end DACA forever. But today, New Jersey, our state, is showing us that it has our backs. Today, we become the 10th state in the nation to expand access to state financial aid for students who are undocumented and DACA recipients. Today, we open the doors to higher education for dreamers like us. Today, we say enough is enough, and we are here to stay. Up until today, countless dreamers have missed out on the opportunity to attend college, graduate, and join the New Jersey workforce because college is so out of reach financially. I am here today because I've been fortunate enough to win scholarships. Every semester, I invest dozens of hours searching and applying for this narrow pool of scholarships because my education depends on it. I am a Rutgers Business Honors College student and a student athlete, news editor, and president of Are You Dreamers. But still, regardless of my work ethic, GPA, or motivation, my attendance every semester is uncertain because it's determined by a limited pool of private scholarships and donors. I don't know how many people could not start school, left partway, or even with only 1 semester left till graduation because they were unable to find a scholarship to afford next semester. Which begs the question, how many future doctors, nurses, teachers, lawyers, and senators has New Jersey lost? But today that changes, thanks to the leadership of Governor Murphy and legislators who have been brave enough to stand up for students like me. We fight because immigrant young people from across the state have been organizing for nearly a decade, starting with in-state tuition and now financial aid. Are You Dreamers, Undocumented Rutgers, Make the Road New Jersey, Wind of the Spirit, ACLU of New Jersey Policy Perspective, Latino Action Network, and countless others have joined together to fight back, to organize, and to stand up for our dignity and our future. We are so grateful for the leadership of our legislators, including Senator Theresa Ruiz, Assemblyman Gary Schreier, Senator Sandra Cunningham and Nellie Poe, and Assemblywoman Anit Quijano and Myla Jay-Z. Thank you for standing with us, and we're so grateful to have Governor Murphy, who has the backs of dreamers. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you, Esther.
And it is now my honor to introduce Maria del Cielo Mendez, who is a senior in high school and a fellow dreamer.
Thank you, Esther. Good afternoon. Good afternoon,
class.
My name is Maria del Cielo Mendez, and I'm a senior at Union County Magnet High School and a youth leader at Make the Road New Jersey. It is an honor to be here with you all. 2 days before the start of my senior year of high school, I learned that the DACA program, which protects young immigrants like me from deportation, would end. So while my classmates were getting ready for senior prom, I was worrying about losing my ability to drive, to work, and the freedom to live without fear. I was facing my final year of high school full of hopes and dreams about what would come next, but there was a dark cloud coming over my future. I came to this country when I was 3 years old. I was born in Mexico, but I grew up in Plainfield, New Jersey, with my parents and my younger sister and brother. Both my siblings were born here and are American citizens. I was valedictorian in my elementary and middle school. Now I go to Union County Magnet High School, one of the top schools in the state. I've worked 2 jobs, helped my mother clean houses, and devoted myself to my community and my academics. I've been accepted into 6 New Jersey state and private universities, and to most, my future looks bright. But because dreamers like me are barred from federal and state financial aid, even though I have always been at the top of my class, college has always felt out of reach. Today, that changes. I started off my senior year terrified and unsure if I would still be in the United States, the only country I've ever known as home, by graduation. Today, my future is still uncertain, but I know next year I'll be going to college alongside my classmates. This is why it is so important to organize. When we say we are undocumented and unafraid, we don't mean that we aren't losing sleep, that we don't know that our future is on the line, and that our families are at risk. We know our humanity is up for national. To say that we are undocumented and unafraid, we will continue to step at a time, are here to stay. We must join together to make New Jersey a fair and welcoming state where we can live, work, drive, study with dignity, and live in safety. A man that has been with us from day one, a champion of the rights of immigrants and young people. Please join me in a round of applause. Welcome Governor Phil Murphy.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all. Wow. Got to put my spectacles on here. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, class. I said a minute ago, right? It is so great to be here, and I've been here often at Rutgers-Newark, the most diverse college in the United States of America. This campus brings to by the way, I wore a little bit more of a campus attire today. Thought I'd fit in a little bit more here. This campus brings to life that most American concept. This is the world's melting pot, where people from every corner of the globe can come in hope of a new life, and in doing so, enrich the lives of everyone in our state and beyond in our country. Before I continue with the topic at hand, and I'm very happy we turned that light on because we needed to cool it down in here, as you know. I want to make a quick statement about a couple of actions taken by the Trump administration. One of them is personal to me, and one of them is particularly personal to New Jersey. The one that's personal to me is I served under President Obama as the United States ambassador to the Federal Republic of Germany. Germany had the largest historically the oldest and largest non-petroleum trading relationship with the Republic of Iran. I spent most of my 4 years, a good amount of those 4 years, trying to bring companies into compliance with sanctions that were directed at Iran to force them to the negotiating table to come up with the arrangement that was that ultimately was negotiated over a two-year period a few years ago. It was not a perfect arrangement, and unfortunately, it did not touch a lot of other initiatives. If you've been to the Golan Heights, as I have been, and you can look out and see Lebanon and Syria, and you see the proxy war that Iran is playing through Hezbollah, that is a real issue. Israel's security is risked as a result of that, but that's not the nuclear deal. Personal, strongly held opinion, this is a huge mistake by the Trump administration. That's not to say the deal is perfect, and that's not to say Iran is a good actor across a whole range of interests, because they're not. But this will make us less safe and not more so. More close to home, and I want to get that off my chest, more close to home as it relates to New Jersey's interests is the president's latest assault on our state. This time it is a plan to take away $107 million in deserved and promised relief from families and communities impacted by Hurricane Sandy, and then as a national matter to take back $7 billion from the Children's Health Insurance Program, otherwise known as CHIP. President Trump and his Republican enablers continue to show that they do not have our state's interests anywhere in their agenda, from a tax plan that hurts our middle class to never-ending assaults on our immigrant communities, our health care, and our values. I and we will fight this assault tooth and nail on New Jersey alongside most of our congressional delegation and every New Jerseyan who believes, as we do, that we are better than this. We will never stop fighting for our families and for our children, period. speaking of young people, not children, but young people, I got the short straw having to follow Esther and Maria, but I want to thank them for being here to kick off what should be and will be a day of celebration. Let's hear it for these two young ladies one more time. Unbelievable. Because of what we're doing in a few minutes here today, I hope both of you and all of your peers know that New Jersey stands by you and will continue to do so to help you live your dreams here in your home state. Rutgers, Newark, Chancellor, Nancy, Cantor, three to my left. Yeah. I know that you and your extraordinary team, Senator Nellie Poe's in the house. Senator, come on down. You all should feel very willing. We'd love to have you up here if you'd like to join us, Senator and Assemblywomen. It's up your complete call, but come on down and join us. Maybe somebody over here. Lamont, you should get up here as well. In a couple of minutes, we'll have more people up here than there are in the audience. But Nancy, you and your extraordinary team of faculty and staff, and certainly the student body, wear the diversity of this campus as a badge of honor. And I thank you for your support of our dreamers and for your role nationally, working with your fellow college and university leaders as co-chair of the steering committee of the President's Alliance on Higher Education and Immigration. Of course, it begs the question, which president, but we'll leave that for another day. Today, we're completing the job that began with the signing of the New Jersey Tuition Equality Act 4.5 years ago. That law allowed New Jersey's dreamers, students registered under the DACA program, to attend our public colleges and universities at in-state tuition rates. But that only got us, in football terms, to the 50-yard line. Unfortunately, Governor Christie conditionally vetoed the bill to remove the ability of our dreamers to qualify for the financial assistance that could put their education within closer reach. Today, in a few minutes, we get to the end zone and we spike the football. Today, our dreamers will be eligible to receive state tuition assistance to help pay for their educations, period. Let's be clear about one thing. Our dreamers are just as much New Jerseyans as my and Tammy's 4 kids, one of whom, our daughter Emma, is right here. Emma, stand up and take a bow here. Our dreamers grew up here. They were educated in our schools. They want to be part of the future economic success of the only home many of them have ever known. And more importantly, we want them to be part of that future too. Throughout the Rutgers system, whether it be here in Newark or New Brunswick or Camden, there are 471 dreamers currently enrolled at in-state tuition rates. But again, unlike their peers, they have until now been ineligible for state-sponsored tuition aid programs, including tuition aid grants or TAG, educational opportunity fund scholarships and loans, even though they may come from nearly identical backgrounds as young folks who are eligible. For these 471 students and for the 288 dreamers enrolled at our other 4-year public colleges and universities, this is a matter of fairness and a matter of ensuring these students have the ability to move forward with their lives and dreams. President Trump and many of his Republican enablers in Congress have cast the worst aspersions on our dreamers. But we in New Jersey know better. We know that economic progress cannot be achieved without social progress, and that social progress cannot be achieved without economic progress. We know New Jerseyans support the ability of our dreamers to not only remain in our state, but to become a strong and contributing part of our society and our economy. By allowing them to not only go to college, but to qualify for financial assistance, we are living up to that ideal. I thank the bill sponsors, starting with Senator Theresa Ruiz, in whose district we are today. Senator, thank you so much. Senators Sandra Cunningham and Nellie Poe, who just joined us. Senators, thank you. Assemblyman Gary Scher and Assemblywomen Annette Ciano and Mila Jacey. I thank them for never wavering in their support for our dreamers. And it should be noted that that group also sponsored the original Tuition Equality Act in 2013. Today, we're completing the job that they began with the introduction of that bill more than 5 years ago. Assemblywoman Brittany Timberlake is also up with us. Always an honor to have you here, Assemblywoman. I also want to recognize our acting Commissioner of Education, our rock star, the one and only Dr. Lamont Repollet, who's with us. And in absentia, our acting Secretary of Higher Education, another rock star, Dr. Zakiya Smith-Ellis. And David Sokolow, Executive Director of the Higher Education Student Assistance Authority, for the work that they are doing to make college more accessible and affordable, and who will be ensuring this law lives up to its promise for our dreamers. If I went through and named so many friends and supporters in this room, I'd miss some people and would be here all day. But I have to say the groups, the activists, the community organizations who are represented here today, our brothers and sisters in labor. 32? Just checking. Dr. Cantor's team, Bill Payne is here from Essex County Senior Leadership, Angela Gerritsen in from her as freeholder in from Union County, and so many others in this room. We would not be here without you. So to each and every one of you, we thank you. I'm so honored to be able to take this step, but we know our actions can only go so far to help our dreamers live their American dreams. The time has long passed for President Trump and the Republican leadership to enact long-term permanent protections for DACA recipients and to open up a clear and unmistakable path for them to become full-fledged American citizens. But until that day, we will continue to fight for them, for Esther and Maria, and for all who look to our state and nation as the land of equal opportunity and the place where dreams still can come true. Thank you. It is my high honor to introduce my friend, a leader in this and so many other important areas in our state today, Senator Theresa Ruiz.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I just want to shout out our chairman of the greatest chairman in the state, Chairman Leroy Jones is here from Essex County. So, I got to give you the snapshot. You've heard probably all the elements of the policy and why it's good. 10 years ago, a young newbie entered the legislature, and during the budget process, sat in a caucus room and was committed to doing several things that she thought she could get to the finish line very easily. I can't look at you, Carol. One was school construction. And the Essex delegation held up the budget that year, and I remember packing a bag and saying, I'm here for the whole night unless we get a number that really will be sure that our facilities are safe for our students. And then another point of discussion was in-state tuition. And being young and naive, I thought a common sense thing, something so critical and important to our families in the state of New Jersey would be so easy. I could tell you that we went around the room and we talked, and because I was new, I was very polite. And then 15 minutes into the conversation, I wasn't so polite. And then 30 minutes into the conversation, I just said, you know what, this is extortion. We invest in these children in the K through 12 system, and when they graduate, many at the top of their class, we turn our backs on them and pretend that they don't exist. And I said, if you can live with that on your conscience, then so be it. But I live in a New Jersey that requires honest conversation, one that includes every single human being from every different road, from every different religion, one that I know contributes $67 million every year to economic development and infrastructure in this state. And so they looked at me and said, nice job, kid. And it was over. And then I went to the bathroom, and I don't know if she heard me cursing as I was going in, but I found a very young woman crying. And it was before she became an attorney. She was an advocate, still is. And I looked at her and said, give me some time. I'm sorry, it took me 10 years. And then that same year, I get a phone call from Science Park High School, one of our best institutions in the state, and at the head of the top of the class, a young man who wants to attend Rutgers and doesn't have the wherewithal financially, and I pick up the phone, and Rutgers made it happen. Forever grateful, but because before we ever had a bill, Rutgers was always at the forefront of getting creative and being inclusive and making sure. And so many other examples, but most recently, a young woman that's part of our Essex County family, Dulce, who had to quit King University, but is at Essex County College. And next year, my dear, you can enroll wherever you want because New Jersey is here for you. But our jobs are not done. This is just the first step in a promise made and a promise kept. Finally, we are having honest conversations because we have an administration and a governor who recognizes that we have to move everyone forward in order for the Garden State to move forward. So I am grateful to you and your partnership, to my colleagues in the Senate who've always recognized what is truly important, and that's moving our moral compass to protect the most important asset that we have, our children. To my Assembly colleagues for doing the same. To my friend in the Department of Education who just signals one thing, and just wants to protect children and ensure that regardless as to where a child goes to school, they will have the best ability to optimize their fullest potential in any setting. But there's so many more things that we have to get accomplished here. Ensuring that our families feel safe, making sure that they have access to driver's license so they can get to and back and from work. And the list can go on and on. But today I can breathe a little better and say that this upcoming graduation year in June, when there was a Carol or a Dulce or a Cielo or so many others, when they have to make their decisions to go to an institution, that it will not be based on finances, it will be based on their own personal desire, the way I made my decision when I chose my school of choice. And so I'm Puerto Rican, I'm born in the city of Newark, but I'm a dreamer. Because I don't want to live in a world that's filled with nightmares. I'm a dreamer because this country inspires all of us to think for greater ways, because this country was built on the backs of people who understand that sought to come here and live their lives and raise their families, because the American flag represents much more than hatred. It represents opportunity, access, and greatness. And so I'm grateful to everyone here for making that happen today. Congratulations to everyone.
Wow. Mr. Chairman, I didn't see you there. God bless you. Nice to have you with us, as always. Just in case the President's watching, I want to reiterate something the Senator just said. Puerto Rico is in the United States of America. Throw that in. Leadership came, as you've heard, Senator Ruiz representing her colleagues who showed great leadership in the Senate. And it's my honor to ask Assemblyman Gary Scher, who is going to represent his colleagues who showed great leadership in the Assembly, to come on up and say a few words. Gary?
I'm not quite sure how to follow the governor, the senator, the dreamers, the chancellor. It puts me in quite a position. I was thinking about, as everyone was talking, I'm saying to myself, this room is so hot and so sticky. There is no other place I'd rather be than right here and right now. As a result of today's action by the governor, the current 64,886 students in New Jersey who currently receive tuition assistance grants will be joined by another 600 plus dreamers. The total cost to the state of New Jersey for these dreamers as part of the TAG program, about $5 million. Ladies and gentlemen, for each taxpayer in this state, that will cost 17 cents per year. 17 cents to fulfill a dream, 17 cents to fulfill an obligation, 17 cents to fulfill a commitment that we all have made to New Jersey. We speak time and time again about the greatest natural resources that each state has, what each brings to the table. None of us have hesitated to always point out that our greatest resource are the people who live in this great country. And today we afford these young people, and perhaps not so young people, with an ability to achieve whereas otherwise they would not. In economic terms, a high school graduate in the state of New Jersey will earn $35,284. With a college diploma, that becomes $59,450. The difference to the state each and every year in taxes, $1,240. I deal with numbers, as many of you do as well. When we put the numbers together, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't make sense not to. Not only are we fulfilling a dream and an aspiration for individuals, but we are underlining the dream that is New Jersey. The dream that people will have opportunity, the dream that people will have the ability to achieve their dreams, and the state benefits. Taxes will increase, and who knows? Who knows who will discover the next cure for cancer? Who knows who will discover any kinds of technological wonderments? It could be right here in New Jersey. It could be right in front of us today. It could be right next to you. That's New Jersey. Senator Ruiz, I am so honored and flattered to have been able to join with you in the Assembly under your sponsorship in the Senate on this tremendously vital bill. Your leadership is outstanding. There is no question, not of this crowd and not of any crowd in Essex or any other county. And Governor, you campaigned on so many issues, so many tremendous, important, vital issues to the future of this great state. There is none that I can think of right now more important than the one that we signed today. It was a privilege. On behalf of Assemblywoman Keano, Assemblywoman Jaycee, and all of our colleagues in the Assembly, we join with you in celebrating today. It's hot and sticky. But ladies and gentlemen, there's not a better place to be than right here and right now. Thank you.
I'm thinking Cinnabons here. Danny, I lost this. I want to make sure everyone knows what the website is. Can you just pull that up for me? I apologize. We'll take a few questions and then sign this baby. Kevin, you good? It is a very lengthy, and we're going to release this, Dan, I assume, yep, in some form, or Lamont, or through you, or Zakia's offices. The website is www.hesaa.org/NJ-alternative-application.ASPX. I don't know how we came up with this. www.hesaa.org/NJ-alternative. What did I just say, alternative? I just lost you again.
We're going to send it out.
Applicant.ASPX. So thank you. We'll take a, Gary, thank you for your words. Danny, you got good hands today? Yeah. The Mets could use you. A couple of questions from the press, please. Come on, you know. My view of this is driven, like so many things, by the poem written by Emma Lazarus in the 1880s that sits at the base of the Statue of Liberty. That's the United States of America that I know. And by the way, I would invite any of those folks who have that attitude, beginning with our president, to come on into this room and allow me or any of us to say, this is the United States of America. Anybody else? From the press? Please. Yeah, I think this was a good bill when it came up, when Theresa was fighting for it 10 years ago, and when Chris Christie conditionally vetoed it 4.5 years ago, and Barack Obama was president. And so it was a good bill then, it's a good bill now. This is good public policy. This is America that I think we all know and embrace, and we're doing the right thing by these young ladies and all of their colleagues to have their back. Admittedly, it's gotten a lot more, you know, the stakes have gotten higher. It's pretty clear. So long before, and Senator Ruiz referred to some of this, long before, I'll speak for myself, I ever thought that Donald Trump would be elected president, we were already talking about in-state financial aid, not just in-state tuition, access to driver's license regardless of status, statewide identification cards, to pick 3 areas, and that was when I wasn't thinking he was going to be president. Those are still truisms, those are still things that we feel strongly about, but then you add to that, all heck's breaking loose down here in the front. You add to that a lot of the more defensive, odious stuff that we have to unfortunately deal with every day. Beyond this, please.
I have more of a technical question. Can the Dreamers who are unable to reapply for DACA until the 90-day period is up before the government has to make a decision, are they able to apply for this tuition aid in that person?
I believe the answer is yes. The answer is yes. Yeah, it's disconnected.
Different definition.
It's disconnected from DACA.
Yes.
Pardon my back here, ladies. Please. I don't know. Do you all know where that stands? Either chamber? It's moving along, right? With our folks.
We're pushing it now.
Great. So there's discussion between the legislature and our administration. I don't have a handle on timing, and we don't talk about specific bills until they get here. But conceptually, this is something you should assume that we're all in on. Please.
Yeah. Is this financial aid available for students from New Jersey who are going to school in New York or other?
No, you have to have gone to high school in New Jersey, I believe, for 3 years at a minimum, either public or private high school. Go to college in New Jersey.
It's state financial aid. It's state financial aid.
In-state.
Right. And I have another follow-up, another question. Mr. Schneiderman resigned. Can you say anything how that's going to affect anything happening here in New Jersey? If New Jersey's going to start taking the lead, being a resistor to Trump's policies?
Yeah, I don't want to put words in the mouth of our Attorney General, but we don't want to let a day go by just because someone has left the field. And so we are focused on that intently, led by the Attorney General right now. You rightfully point out in the background is New Jersey has joined, after not having joined for many, many years, is now joined in a whole series of collective actions. Either we have joined or are planning on joining. And so we don't want to lose any time just because of an individual situation. Matt?
So we already have seen that based on college enrollment numbers that we're talking about $1.2 million more than OLS estimated for this bill, and that's not including community colleges and private school enrollment. Do you have a firm handle on how much it's actually going to cost beyond that OLS estimate?
I don't know about the OLS estimate, but the number that I have walking around is the number Gary alluded to. It's not quite $5 million. I have $4.47 million is the number that we have. Anybody else? Sir.
Governor, I'm actually a dreamer myself.
God bless you.
I just wanted to thank you for doing this for us, but this is a very happy day for me, but at the same time, there's a lawsuit that was just started by the Texas Attorney General against to cancel DACA once and for all. So can you pledge to protect us in case DACA gets canceled? And I don't know what I'm going to do if I can't renew.
Are you here at Rutgers, or?
I'm actually in Rutgers, New Brunswick.
Okay. Thanks for making the trip up to Newark. And the Chancellor said she'd forgive you. We will do literally everything within my personal and our administration's power to have your back, period, full stop. We will not let you down. With that, let's go sign this baby. Chancellor Nancy Cantor, God bless you and thank you for your leadership. Where's my friend Esther Chong? Esther, congratulations. God bless you. Okay? Let's hear it for Esther.
Can I get you to move?
This is for Maria del Cielo Mendez. Congratulations. Senate President Pro Tem Theresa Ruiz.
Thank you.
Assemblyman, the one and only Gary Sher. Senate Deputy Majority Leader Sandra Cunningham. Where are you, Senator?
Can you come a little bit lower?
Senator Nellie Poe. Nellie, where are you? Congratulations.
Just come a little bit back.
Assemblywoman Myla J.C. Okay, is Renata Maurice with us? Renata? Renata, come on down. You're getting a pen. I'll give her the pen. How's that?
Thank you, Governor.
Let's
Wind of the Spirit.
Renata Maurice of Wind of the Spirit.
Thank you.
How about Cynthia Osorio?
Governor, you may remember Cynthia from the women's march.
I remember very well. Great to see you. How about Erica Martinez? Erica? Make the road. And last but not least, is Erica Nava with us? Where are you, Erica? Today the 9th? Yes. You get the most amount of... Erica. Congratulations. This bill is the law of the land. Thank you all so much.